What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back. This is Force here with some more Friday Night Magic. Today we are going to be playing an artifact deck. Yes, indeed. We're going to draw a new hand. This is not good. This is no better. We're going to have to go down to 6. Okay. Alright, we'll take this. Keep the hand, keep the hand. We're going to start off with our Dimir Guildgate. This is the Esper Artifacts deck from Legend VD of No Goblins Allowed. And it is a Esper artifact deck. So it's focused on artifacts, artifact creatures, putting them in play, doing stuff with them. We get our 1-2. The Sculptor makes our artifacts cost 1 colorless less to cast. Ooh. Trying to contemplate here how I want to do this. Well, either way I should play one of these 2 drops. It's either going to be the Sculptor or the 2-1 Flying Death Touch. Let's play the Sculptor now, so this will make my future artifacts cost 1 colorless less to play. So that does not bypass the colored mana cost, but anything like this, now this costs 3 instead of 4 with the colorless. So I'm going to need a white, a blue, and a black, which I will be able to get here with my Arcane Sanctum, but I won't be able to play it right away because this does come into play tapped. The only way I'll be able to play that right away next turn is if I draw into a Plains, and then I can play the Plains untapped, and then toss a 4-4. That would be ideal. That'd be perfect, to be honest with you. So he'll be swinging with decides not to swing with the Young Wolf. Okay. Alright, so we're going to play this, and we can play any of our 2 drops. So let's just go with the Tide Hollow right now, I suppose. So this is going to be a 2-1 Flying Death Touch. Lots of flying in this particular deck. I was just talking the other week about wanting to do an artifact deck, and then here we are. So I won't be attacking with the 1-2 because I do want to save him as much as possible, or her, I guess it's actually a lady. I want to save her as much as possible because she has much more value beyond just being a 1-2, obviously, in dropping the cost of our other cards. And next turn we will be able to play, oh, there's a Mind Rot forcing us to discard 2. Ay. Do I get rid of the capsule just to keep the Tower Gargoyle, or do I get rid of the Gargoyle and keep the capsule for card draw? I mean, this will replace, but this is a 4-4, which could potentially win us the game. So let's get rid of the capsule. It sucks. I mean, that is a bummer, but this is, I couldn't get rid of the 4-4. This thing is potentially game winning. So let's go ahead and toss him down and play. So there's our 4-4 flying. And then we will swing with our 2-1 Tide Hollow. And we're going to leave our 1-2 untapped. And hopefully we can just win in the air here. That Mind Rot was quite painful. I guess the other thing to think about is if he has a second Mind Rot in his hand, keeping the capsule would have been just as bad of an idea. Because he would have just played the second Mind Rot this turn and he would have discarded anything that I drew anyways. And then, so this is good now that we get this 4-4 in play. And there's more of those capsules for card draw. So we could draw into them, potentially. Potentially, I don't know. But either way, right now, we're at a pretty big advantage. And there it is. Okay, wonderful. So we're going to play this. Should I wait? Well, no, let me do it now, because if I draw a land, I could play the land. So let's go ahead and do this now. Because if I draw a land, I could play it. There we go. And then hopefully he doesn't have more discard, because our Bident Thassa is our other card draw engine here in this deck. And this is going to give us a lot of card draw, actually. If we get to play it next turn, we're going to get... So it's whenever a creature you control deals combat damage to a player, you draw that many cards. And since we've got a lot of flying creatures, so if, for example, next turn, if I can play this and it hits him for 6, I get to draw 6 cards. It's so ridiculous. Enters the battlefield, put the top 2 cards of your library into your graveyard. So that's what he did. So he's got graveyard fetch, most likely. It's probably also running the spiders where he can fetch stuff from his... Oh, and this deck probably has some reach too. I mean, it does have flying, but he just lost his Runescarred Demon, and we are going to get to do this. This is hilarious. We're going to play the Bident of Thassa. He has got no creatures right now that are able to block our flyers. So we're going to be swinging for 6, and again, because of the Bident, we get to draw 6 cards. Oh wait, is it just the 2? I thought it was you draw. Oh, it's just a 2. Okay, it's 1 for... I'm an idiot. It's 1 for each creature. Whenever a creature control deals combat damage to a player, you may draw... Okay, I thought it said you may draw that many cards. It does not say that. So I could play another one of my gargoyles. I could save for a Vapor Snag. Or I could use my mana to force him to attack next turn. But that doesn't really matter. Let's play my second gargoyle. So that even if he does play another flyer... Even if he plays a flyer or a creature with reach this turn, we are... gonna be all set. So let's see what he does here. Tommy. Alright, that has reach, right? Yes, it does. It's a 6/6 with reach. So... Oh, Tommy. Tommy just realized that he can only block one of my 2 4/4s here, which means 4, 5, 6 will be going through. So he is pretty much dead no matter what. And then we also had the Vapor Snag, which he did not know about. So I'm going to pre-combat Vapor Snag the AI. Bouncing it back to his hand, also forcing him to lose 1 life. And then we move into combat step. We attack for 8, 9, 10 in the air. The reach creature is no longer there, and thusly, we win the game. Ooh, alright. We get to go first, and this hand is okay because we have got 2 drops. You know what? Actually, this hand isn't that great. Let's draw a new one. This looks a little bit better. I like this hand a little bit better. We're going to keep this hand. Thank you very much. Alright, so we'll start off with our tap land, our Dimir Guildgate. Come turn 2, we can play the Tide Hollow Strix. And then turn 3, we might just go with the Courier's Capsule. We have Reprisal for removal of large creatures. Alright, let's go ahead and toss this down. We will play the Tide Hollow Strix right now. Flying Death Touch 2/1. And that's, again, that's where this deck is gonna get its win condition, is from our flying creatures. And we also have right here the Sanctum Gargoyle. It's a 2/3 flying. And when it enters the battlefield, I get to take an artifact card from my graveyard to my hand. Now, a majority of the cards in this deck are artifacts. So that is why that works so well. It's just such a strong card in this deck. So very strong. Alright, so we don't need any... There's no reason to have a third mana, so we don't need to play one of our untapped ones. We can play our tap land. And I will swing first for the 2. And then we will go ahead and play our Courier's Capsule. And then next turn, if we wanted to, we could draw, but more likely than not... Well, actually, we may not play the Sanctum Gargoyle. We might draw first, because the Sanctum Gargoyle has nothing to fetch right now. But if we play it the turn after, we could fetch back the Courier's Capsule. So far, we see green, white, and blue from our opponent. He's also got the Wayfinder and in this graveyard. Ooh, it's running black as well. So this is a 4-color deck? Holy moly. I'll be interested to see if he can get any of this off. Alright. Very interesting. So he's running at least 4 colors, if not 5. Huh, okay. Alright, so we are going to play a land. We will go ahead and... So actually, no, we can't even play the... excuse me. We can't even play the Sanctum Gargoyle because we don't have a white source yet. So we have no choice. So what that tells me... I'm going to do this now because we could draw something we could play. So we're going to go ahead and do this now. And I should have done that. I should have waited until I get a land. He's going to... Okay, he's bouncing that out of play and into play is what he just did. And there we go. We did draw something we could play. The Sculptor or another one of these. Sculptor doesn't do much good at the moment. So we'll just play another one of these. So another Tide Hollow Strix here. So what he did was he bounced this out of play and tossed it back into play, letting him reveal the top 4 cards of his library again and put a land among them into his hand. He's going to play an Archaeomancer, and let's see what he fetches back here. Fetches back Cloud Shift. So he's going to be able to... Oh, I've played around with Cloud Shift decks before. This is going to be interesting. He's also got Doubling Season. That's a copy. That's like a clone. And Denrova Horror is really terrifying, so I'm glad he doesn't have that at his disposal for his Cloud Shift right now. Because that can be incredibly frustrating. to deal with. And I'm really hoping we draw a white source soon. But either way, right now, I'm feeling all right with our position. We're going to be swinging him for 4 next turn, bring him down to 12. As far as I can tell, there's nothing that he is going to be able to do to stop it. And depending on what we draw, we might just play the Ethereum Sculptor to allow us to get cheaper artifacts in the future. And I don't know what I hope to draw into. I guess I mostly hope to draw into a white source, because then I'll probably take back the Courier's Capsule. Alright, so he decides to commit to attack. We, of course, let the 1 go through, because who cares? And then he ends his phase. So he's going to be down to 12 now. That is not the white source I was hoping for. Let's play the Sculptor anyways. And Sculptor is definitely best early game, because you can go into things. I mean, at this point, any artifact that I draw, I'm going to be able to afford to play. But it's still nice to get the reduced cost either way. He's down to 12. So let's see if he's going to have anything to deal with this air stuff. This is one of those problems with running decks that are more than 3 colors. It's that it can be hard to get the answers. It really needs to be finely tuned. You really need these decks to be the decks that are more than 2 or 3 colors. I mean, even 3 colors can be really, really tough, especially in such a limited format that is Duels of the Planeswalkers. It's not quite the same as if you're just running regular old paper Magic and you've got so much at your disposal. Duels is really so limited, so those 3+ color decks, it can just be tough. As you can tell here, Siriguela, that's probably right, Siriguela's taking a sweet-ass time. Maybe he feels there's an impending doom coming. So for our planes sources, the deck is running 2 planes, and then we've got 4 of the Arcane Sanctums, which are the lands that tap for all 3 colors. So we really just need any of those to come through here. Please make up your mind, do something. Holy crap. Your turns are taking as long as possible. There you go. He played something. There it is. It's a Gravedigger. Return target creature from your graveyard to your hand. So he's probably going to be getting the Dinrova Horror. No! What was that? I'm not even positive what that was. We are really not drawing what we need here at all. Drew another one of these jerks. The Ethereum Sculptors. Alright, so we're swinging for 4 again in the air. Once more, nothing he can do about it. No reach, no flyers. Not at the moment, at least. So he's down to 8. Oh my gosh, what is going on? Actually, he can Cloud Shift this and then get back his Dinrova Horror as well. Now, luckily for us, we can kill the Horror. Yeah, I'll take this damage. Absolutely. Right to my face. Go ahead. That's 4 damage she's swinging at me for. He plays this. Enters the battlefield. You gain 7 life if you control 2 or more keeps, which he does. That sucks. There's our white source, finally. Comes into play tap, though, so we're not going to be able to make use of it right away. We will swing for 4 once again, bring him down to 11. And he's going to Cloud Shift that guy. Oh, he's going for more life gain. Okay. I was thinking he might do it for the Gravedigger to get back his Dinrova Horror. So he gained another 7 life. He's up to 18. Ay caramba. Alright, so he's just going to try to race me. I'll let the 4 go through. We're going to have this guy as a flyer soon. Doubling season. If an effect would put a counter, or you would get tokens, they are doubled. So his stuff gets doubled. Now we're going to save that for next turn. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to play the Sanctum Gargoyle. I mean, we're going to play this now, but we play the Sanctum Gargoyle for 2. We get back our capsule. Okay. We're going to play the Gaze Fiend. We're going to play the Gaze Fiend. Whenever you play another artifact, this gets +2/+2 until end of turn. So we're going to hold off on playing our capsule until next turn. so we can pump him up. And then we may potentially be able to pump him up further as well, depending on what we draw into. So this could be really good. We could actually, potentially, we could secure the victory next turn. Potentially. So we hold off on the capsule right now. And... oh god, actually, could he kill me this turn with doubling season? I guess it depends on what he's got. If he's got any big token producers, he could kill us with doubling season. Treasure find. Pulls a card from his... what is he gonna get? Cloud shift? Probably cloud shift. Alright, so let's see. We're gonna have 2, 4, 6, 7, 8. 8's not enough to win. I want to keep these guys. I don't want these guys to die, so I'm going to take the 4. Okay. 8's not enough to win. We need a lot more. Let's play the capsule. Actually, whatever he pumps up, we could kill with reprisal if we save the mana. Sacrifice the capsule. If we save the mana, we could... I'm gonna play this. When an artifact creature you control deals combat damage to a player, you may put a 1/1. Oh my gosh, yes. We're gonna be able to put a bunch of 1/1s into play. Plus that pumps him up even further. We're gonna play our Guildgate. So we can't do reprisal now, but the reason I decided to play that was because we're going to get 4 1/1 flyers into play. Whenever artifact creature deals combat damage to a player, put a 1/1 Thopter artifact flyer in. Yep. So we're going to get 4 of these little suckers in play. Oh my god, and that pumps him up even further! Oh no, it doesn't matter though, because that's after he did damage. I was gonna say, that would have been hilarious. But no, this is after he's already done damage, so this additional damage isn't going to go through. But what this does do is it gives me a bunch of chump blockers now. So that's really good. So now I can block anything he might throw my way. Copies a creature. Who's he going to copy here? He's going to copy 2/4. So he gains 7 life. Yeah, he's done, right? Pretty sure he's done. Play a Gaze Fiend. That's gonna pump up our other Gaze Fiend. And I'm gonna swing in the air with everything. Okay. I want to go with everything but my 2 1/2s. I still don't know if there's something he could do, so I'm trying to be. But I'm pretty sure that. Yeah, there we go. That's the one. And in our final game, we got not what we wanted in our opening hand. Holy crap, this is not... Nope! Draw a new hand, Blaze. Yikes. Yikes, yikes, yikes. Well, I guess it's alright. It's okay. It's not great. It's not the best. Emilian David is deciding about his mulligan. Yes, yes, yes. We're going to play the Traveler's Amulet. This is to help the fact that the deck's mana is all over the place, basically. We could play the Gaze Fiend next turn, so that we can potentially hit for some damage a turn after. Potentially, not guaranteed, though. So Traveler's Amulet lets us search our library for a basic land card, reveal it, put it into our hand. So this is basically going to let us fetch for the blue, which is the only thing we need right now. But I think I should start off with a Gaze Fiend. Ooh boy, but then there's that too. That's fine. Well, if we start off with the Gaze Fiend, yeah, then we'll be able to play this next turn and hit with the Gaze Fiend. So here's the game plan. Glaze. So the Glaze Fiend comes into play. Next turn, we can tap a black, sacrifice this, search for a blue, and then play our Tide Hollow Strix, pumping him up, and then hitting for 2. And then the turn after, we can play the Tower Gargoyle. Yes, indeedy. Yes, indeedy. He's going to play 2/1/1s. It doesn't matter. Do what you want. Is this green-white token? I'm guessing it is. That's what it looks like, anywho. Okay, so this is what we do. We sacrifice this. Boom, boom, boom. Search our library for a blue. Show it. Put it into our hand. Drop the blue. We play the Tide Hollow Strix. Artifact comes into play, triggers the Glaze Fiend, pumps him up to a 2/3, and then we hit for 2 in the air. Wonderful. Wonderful, wonderful. I love the freaking art. Look at that. It's this beautiful collage of whateverness. It looks great. Man, Magic, your art's great. This is kind of funny looking, but that's fine. This thing's amazing. Look at that. Look at that thing. Look at that thing. We can play that next turn. 4/4 flying. What the heck is David gonna do? I don't know. We also have our Darksteel Ingot, which taps for mana. All of this to offset the fact that our mana's, you know, it's a tricolor deck. So the things like the Traveler's Amulet, as well as the Darksteel Ingot, trying to compensate for that fact. Right now, we will probably win this race, especially once our 4/4 flyer comes into play. But what I'm not liking is we're kind of out of steam after the Tower Gargoyle, because then we're just sitting on mana and a Darksteel Ingot, which not too keen on that. Oh, there's another. Okay, so forget being out of steam. All right, so pre-combat, we play the Tower Gargoyle, pumping up our Glaze Fiend, and then allowing us to swing for 4. Now, this does give us a 4/4, and you might say, Force, you're going to use it to block? Not sure. Probably not, because... Is that green? I can't tell what mana. I need to check that mana in a second. I haven't... It's nothing but white in play, but if he's running green as well, then he likely has creature pump up? Yeah, so there it is. That is green. Those are green sources. So, I'm not going to block with the 4/4, because he can probably... Oh, maybe I will. I will now if he's tapped out, though. Yeah, if he's tapped out, I'll totally block if he attacks. That's fine by me. Uh-oh. Oh, here it is. 3/1/1 flyers in play. So now he's got some stuff. That's going to allow him to kill my Tide Hollow. Should I not attack with a Tide Hollow? No, I will. That way I'll get rid of all of his flyers. No, we can't do both of those. Alright, so we're going to play the Gargoyle. Pumping up this guy. And I'll just attack with this. He's going to kill it, but then we'll be done with his flyers. And that, it's a tough choice, but I think I'm going to do it. We're just going to swing with all. So he might actually triple block the Glaze Fiend, especially if he has another one of these in his hand. Oh no, he's going to let all this go through now. Okay, I see. So he's trying to save for the future. Ah, shoot, I hope he doesn't have another one of these in his hand. If he's got another... Triplicate Spirits, then I'm kind of in trouble. Because then he's going to have ample blockers. I can play the double Darksteel Ingot to pump this guy up a bunch. Oh my gosh, no. Oh god, no. Do I just die here? I think I just die here. Yeah, I'm dead. Holy crap, look at that damage. Look at that. So he attacked with 7, he attacked with enough creatures to pump this up to 7 counters, 9 counters in fact. And then they all get pumped up +5/+5, so that's it. Alright guys, thanks so much for watching this episode of Friday Night Magic. It is sad to go out on a loss, but I don't mind losing to that. I mean, that's ridiculous. That's hilarious. How much damage this is. Absolutely absurd. Have a wonderful evening. I'll see you guys next Friday for another episode. Keep watching and keep getting rolled.